What's good, man? It's your man King Ray up in the joint. What's popping with your homies? Appreciate everybody coming through the joint, man. Let's get a few minutes to slide up in here. You know, we're a little bit slow on a trigger with this particular platform right here, but we're gonna get it together. We're gonna get it up to speed. Manuel Life, what's happening, man? Let's go ahead and take a look on the YouTube screen, man. All right. LOA, what's good, young brother? I see you in the building, man. Good to see you in the joint. Big Rich, what up? Manuel Life is in the building. Alpha G, what's happening, bro? Taking over territory for sure. Kevin Barone, salute to you. YMC, what's happening, man? Appreciate you being in the joint, my brother. Kodum36, what up, man? Zuko, what's good, homie? Vaughn, what's happening with you, man? Big Cam, what's happening with you, man? My Patreon is on deck, man. Matter of fact, Steven Rodriguez, what's good, man? Big Rich, what up? Matter of fact, man, here's my Patreon right here. That's my Patreon right there, brother. I think you should be able to. Yo, why that link didn't post up in there, man? I don't know what just happened with that when that link didn't post. I know what happened. I know what happened. My bad, man. I know what happened. Nah, man. I had a couple chicks from had a chick from St. Croix, chick from St. Thomas, never Jamaica though. I talked to a chick from Jamaica, but there it is. All right, it came up. Yeah, D Fleming just put the link to Patreon in there, man. I don't know. It won't come up with me, man. I don't know. Oh, you know what? Hell, I'm in the chat as BOA, man. Y'all hold up. Y'all give me a minute, man. All right. If y'all can hear me, man, put a one in the chat, man. If y'all can hear me loud and clear, put a one in the chat. Something done went terribly wrong, man. I was in here as BOA, man. I need to be in here as King Ray. All right, we good. I couldn't post in the chat. That's what it was, man. I was trying to post in the chat, but I was posting as BOA. Anyway, homies, R Banks 09 is in the building. Tayon Jackson, King Rashad is in the building. LV, what up with you, man? In the building. King Rashad, what's up with you, man? Salute. Jorge, salute to you. Jay Lax, what's good, bro? Salute. Steven Rodriguez, salute to you, man. All right. Let's give the people just a couple of more minutes to get in here, man, before we get started. Mike Larry, what's up with you, Mike? Good to see you in the building, ML. MOB for sure. Roll, what's up with you, man? King George, what up, KG? Good to see you in the building, bro. Yo, is this my mic tripping? Yeah. All right, let's get ready to get to it, man. Let's get ready to get to it. I think this thing been going on, man, for a few minutes now. About 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and get into it. As you can see, man, the topic for the night is 25 rules pimps and alphas use that simps and betas refuse. 25 rules pimps and alphas refuse. Now, why use these rules? Well, for one thing, mentally and emotionally, they're not equipped to function by these rules because these rules require you self-centered. You understand? It requires you to be a man who is self-centered but selfless at the same time. I help anybody who need help, man. If they really need help, man, and they help and they're doing everything in the power to help themselves from myself to get somebody else if I need it. Never gonna take food out my mouth to get to somebody else. The simps, betas, they can't look at it that way. They feel like they were put here to be sacrificial lambs. That's why it's easy for a simp to be a Christian, because he believes in sacrifice. He believes in sacrificing himself so he can buy into the Christian doctrine real easy, because it's based on sacrificing yourself and turning the other cheek. And if a man take your coat, give him your cloak and all of that right there. The pimps and alphas, not so much. So we're going to talk about that, man. We're going to get into that. I appreciate everybody being in the joint, man. We're going to go ahead and listen, man. By the time February come around, man, we're going to have this live stream channel rocking, bro. We might not even go back to the main channel for live streams. We might end up just sticking over here doing it. Logan, what's good, brother? Salute. No mercy. D Flam, my brother's in the building, man, working with me, man. My brother D Flam, man, YMC, man, they be in the joint, man. I appreciate it for sure. So let's talk about these things, man. Now, first of all, let's talk about this. The first thing we want to discuss is this. There is a fantasy world in which women exist. And some men have learned to exist in that world as well. The problem with that is you can't exist in a fantasy world. You have to exist in the real world, but you also have to embrace the fantasy world. Know how to separate the two, but reap the benefits of both. See, there are benefits to a woman living in her fantasy world. If she's living in her fantasy world in your presence, guess what? There's nothing she won't do. There's nothing she won't give. There's no amount of effort she won't put in. So you got to know how to separate the fantasy world from the real world, but how to reap the benefits of both. Now, what we have to understand is this. Many men are still buying into the marriage concept. And let me tell you something. Even if it wasn't so skewed, you can't buy into an eternity with a woman. You can't buy into a death do us part interaction with the woman, because nothing lasts forever. Life itself don't even last forever. Everything is temporary. So you have to really be careful about what you swear your life to. You can swear your life to grinding. You can swear your life to hustling. You can swear your life to health. You can swear your life to wealth. You can swear your life to the pursuit of alphaness. But you cannot swear your life to a woman. Her life itself is fickle. She is very out of control of her life. And all it takes is one bad emotional trip for her to be totally spiraling out of control. So you cannot dedicate yourself to a woman. That's something that a simp would do. A simp believes that if you find the right woman, you can well, what's that right woman look like? Let me tell you what the term the right woman means. The right woman means the right woman for you. There is no blanket statement that you can describe a good woman with. A good woman is whatever it is for you. If I'm nigga on the block and I need somebody to cook my work, that's a good woman for me. If she can whip it up, if she can bet the crockett up in there, then she built for me. If you're in the square world and the corporate world, guess what? She probably ain't much benefit to you because she can whip it up. I need a woman who ain't gonna take the stand and testify. You need a woman who will in the square world. You see what I'm saying? The bottom line is you have to understand that nothing lasts forever. And so you have to be willing to benefit from the women's presence in your life when they're in your life. You can't plan no damn future with a woman, bro. That's a fickle mindset. Women can barely plan their own damn future. They can plan their moves, but they can't plan ahead, man. Because it doesn't take much to knock them off kilter. Another thing is this, man. Lately I've been hearing boys crying about why the women want this type of man, or why the woman want that type of man. Like it ain't fair. Man, let me tell you something. The only fair you should be thinking about, nigga, is the state fair. That's the only fair you should be thinking about. Or your bus fare, your plane fare. You shouldn't be thinking about any other type of fairness in this environment, in this world. You're a man. You have to understand that anything that's tough isn't gonna be fair. Anything that's tough is just not good. It's too tough to be fair. When Floyd was in his prime, most of the fighters he fought, man, was unfair. He was too fast. His defenses were impeccable. I'm talking about once he switched and became a defensive fighter. When he was still young and fast, and he became a defensive specialist, come on, man, it was unfair to see Floyd in the ring with Cass. In Mike Tyson's career early on, it was unfair to see Cass get in the ring with Tyson. Before Tyson went to prison, it was unfair to see Cass get in the ring with Mike. Men should not view life from perspective of what's fair and what's not. See, this is what you have to understand. You're either going to be a man or you're going to be a female. If you're a man, you know that as a man, we're the judges of the earth. We judge the earth. We judge the people. We execute the fairness unto the people. We execute the justice unto the people. We don't go around and cry about justice and fairness. You can't be an enforcer and at the same time be the one who's being encroached upon. You got to pick a side. Another thing is this, man. All of these cats talking about, man, telling men about, you know, you got to do this for the woman, and you got to love her, and you got to, you know, ain't that wrong with loving a woman, but you know, they talking about that sucker type of love. You got to like be in love with the woman, and you got to pedestalize her, and you got to blah. Man, you can't even trust her. Every time you pillow talk with a woman, man, you putting yourself on blast. Because women don't forget what you pillow talk about. In the very moment that she turns, every piece of information she has on you becomes a weapon in her mind anyway. It becomes a weapon. Your personal information becomes a weapon. Your criminal history becomes a weapon. All of this doxing that goes on this platform, man, I can guarantee you that was originated by women. Now you got some of these feminine brothers on here that's all about it. You know, you got to understand this, man. You got to accept the reality of life. You got to accept the fact that this world is all backwards. The majority of men you come across are going to be more feminine than masculine. The majority of women you come across are going to be more masculine than feminine. The men are still going to be masculine enough to look like men, and the women are still going to be feminine enough to look like women. But internally, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, the women are going to be more masculine than they are feminine, and the men are going to be more feminine than they are masculine. You could talk to a man and think you know him, man, think you know something about him, man, and then find out he did something very egregious, something unforgivable almost. And then you look at that man and you can't look at him the same anymore. But then you ask yourself, damn, was I that blind while I was looking at this man like this before? You can't trust nobody. You damn near can't trust yourself in certain situations. All of us have that situation we put ourselves in where we don't know what we'll do. We know we're going to do whatever we got to do to get out of it, but we don't know what we'll do. We don't know listen, man, we don't know how cruel we can become. If you're a weak man, you don't know how low you'll stoop. You don't know how weak you can become. You got two types of men. Men who are gonna beat their way out of a situation, fight their way out of a situation, and men who are gonna beg and grovel and what they think in their mind is finessing their way out of the situation and be used to get out of the situation. You got those are two types of men you got. And see, when I talk about the reality and fantasy of life, YouTube ain't real life, man. Yeah, YouTube, the platform is real. Google is a real company. The rules of YouTube are real. Hell, I'm in YouTube jail right now on my main channel. All of these stipulations, they're real. This new COPA law with the children online protective policy or some shit. That right there, man. It's causing havoc everywhere. But it's the reality of life. But YouTube itself is not real. When I hear cats complaining about what goes on YouTube, I'm talking about like between people. It ain't real, man. People come on YouTube, man, and act like they partners, man. Man, them cats ain't never really met in real life. You got people that come on YouTube, man, to play the happy couple, man. They don't even live in the same state, bro. But sometimes they don't even live in the same country. You dig what I'm saying? This ain't real life, bruh. Real life happens when you cut your computer off. That's real life. You got to know the difference between the two. And unfortunately, a lot of men and women don't. They don't know the difference. And some don't care to know the difference because their online life is better than their real lives. Everybody who sounds profound isn't really profound. Some cats just have a mastery of the English language or a mastery of something that you don't know a lot about. See, let me tell you something. If you know absolutely nothing about fishing and you listen to me talk about fishing, you're going to say, man, that brother is a fishing genius. But if you know about fishing, everything I'm telling you, you already know. You're just going to look at me as a fellow fisherman. That's how life goes. The more information I have that you don't know, the more you look at me like a damn genius. The more you look at me like a whiz kid. When in reality, I just know something you don't know. So in that area, you feel like a dummy. You feel inadequate. Anytime you feel inadequate, then you're gonna view somebody else as being very adequate, even more than adequate. Overqualified, for lack of a better way to put it. You can't complain about how women treat you. I say again, you can't complain about how women treat you. Because a woman is going to treat you how you treat you. She's going to treat you how you deserve to be treated. And the way you deserve to be treated is the treatment that you'll accept. If you accept any treatment, you deserve it. If you make any terrible decision to put yourself in a bad situation, you deserve it. Everyone deserves consequences for their actions. Yes, you will hope that you can pray and get some tender mercies and loving kindness from the Most High, but you have to be willing to accept the consequences of your actions. So if you lose your whip because you've been tricking off your money instead of paying for your whip, then you deserve that. You deserve to be riding the bus. This is what you deserve, man. Women will treat you how they see you treat yourself. Literally. However she sees you treat yourself, she'll treat you the same way. And I don't just mean, physical treatment, where how you carry yourself or how you dress and all that. No, I'm talking about how you treat yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. If a woman sees you and knows you're a spiritual man, she wouldn't dare put no pork on your plate. If a woman sees you, she don't respect your spirituality and doesn't even know you have any, then she'll put anything on your plate and expect you to eat it. If you got a certain energy, a woman is not going to ask you to do nothing crazy, like go down on her. If you do it on your own, she's going to be thrilled. But a woman is not going to come at you like that. The energy means a lot in this world. That's the difference between men who have success with women and men who don't. Men who have success with women have an energy that the woman has to embody and become the submissive feminine version of herself. You can't get a woman unless she's in the submissive feminine version of herself. Any woman that's uptight, I just saw something recently, man. Bill Gates' wife, man, is a staunch feminist. But you look at Bill Gates, you can tell that he's the type of cat that would marry a feminist. She just put out a book, man, about women's unpaid contributions to the economic world. I think that's what it's titled. So she's saying that a woman sitting at home taking care of the children is a contribution to the economic world. And you know what? It actually is. It affords a man the luxury of being able to go out, man, and get his money and not have to worry about his children. And not have to pay a nanny. You know what I'm saying? Even though some of them do have nannies, but you know what I'm saying. But you have to understand, if you accept something from anyone, if you accept it, you deserve it. And you should probably get a second dose of it. You dig? See, you got to be who you are and never give a damn what folks think or say about you. Man, let me tell you something, bro. And this is real talk. I don't care what anyone says about me. Because when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to feel the same about myself. Regardless of what somebody said today, I'm going to feel the same about myself. You may not. Somebody may sway your opinion to me. That's your thing. I don't care. If somebody can talk to you and sway your opinion to me, fine, man. They swayed your opinion. But I'll tell you one thing that can't happen. Nobody can talk to me about me and sway my opinion about myself. I can guarantee you that. Nobody can say nothing about me that's going to make me view myself differently based on what the hell they say. Because I'm going to be who I am. And I'm never going to give a damn about what folks think. I know how to finesse the game. I know how to let people watch and think and talk without responding or clarifying nothing. I ain't finna tell you yay or nay. I'm gonna let you keep talking. I'm gonna let you keep running your trap. I'm gonna let you keep yapping off about something you don't know nothing about. And then when I feel like it, whenever I feel like it, I'm gonna give out the facts to make you look like a stupid fool. If I feel like it. But I'd rather just let you keep running your trap, trying to sound profound about something your ass has no idea about. That's how you handle loudmouth people. That's how you handle smart folks. That's how you handle these intellectual scholars who ain't got no degrees between them. You got to keep in mind, man, that brothers do weird things. You got cats who pillow talk. Man, you got cats who pillow talk with women they're not even with. You see what I'm saying? You got cats who pillow talk with women they just met. You got cats who pillow talk with a woman, man, that they just met the first night and they pillow talking. Woman know everything about him, everything about any woman in his life, everything about his seed, everything about everything. Woman knows everything. So this is what you got to understand, man. You know, I made a video a long time ago, man, about stuff confidence versus self-confidence. And y'all remember that video. Y'all know what that's about. It got struck down. I may fix it and re-upload it. So you got to keep in mind, man, that that's just the way it is. And I've been kind of staying out of the chats. I don't really watch what's in the chats, but I was watching the content creator having a blast in his chats. Trolls came in, man, he'll address them and block them. If somebody else says something, man, he'll talk to him. He had pretty much had words for anybody who needed to have words for. Hell, I was watching a content creator, man. He timed out another content creator. Didn't even think about who the dude was. Just read his comment and said, "Hey, time him out right there." He ended up letting the moderator bring him back in, but man, he straight timed him out. You know what I'm saying? And this guy was a content creator, man, a known content creator. That's how it is, bro. Like I just saw that. Homer came in and said, now China want to be help me. She gonna be help me whenever I let her. Whenever I wanted to, she gonna be a help me. But see, let me tell you something. I want to explain to y'all what that means. See, help me is real life talk. That's in the real world. These niggas try to bring the real world onto YouTube. So when you use a help me talk, when a woman's in here with a rich being a moderator, that's not a help meet. What you saying? Are you calling my partner D Flemings a help meet? Are you calling my brother YMC a help meet? Are you saying that everybody with a wrench is a help meet, or is it just a woman with a wrench? Who's a help meet? You see what I'm saying? Cats just want to come in and say something. They just got to say something about something that ain't got nothing to do with them anyway. This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with this, and you have to assess people and accept them for who they are. That's why you don't see me clicked up with nobody. I don't click up with folks. I got my partners that roll with me, and we got this whole ALPHAS. We too damn big to be a clique. We too damn big to be a gang. We're an environment. You see what I'm saying? The ALPHAS is an environment. I could go to every state in the United States, the continental and the two and Alaska and Hawaii. I can go to all 48 continental and Alaska and Hawaii, and I guarantee you there's somebody there that I can link up with. I can hit them up and tell them I'm coming. I'll be there, and they'll be looking for me. And I have somebody, man, to watch my back and show me around the place and make sure I have my bearings about myself. I don't care about no clique. You understand? Dr. BOA is worldwide, homie. I can go to Nigeria right now, hit some cats up and be in Nigeria. I can go in South Africa, hit some cats up in South Africa and tell them I'm on the way, and they'll lay it out for me. Nigga, I could go to Istanbul, Turkey. I ain't making this up. I ain't playing. I can go to Istanbul, Turkey and hit some cats up, and they'll roll out the red carpet for Dr. BOA. Am I bragging? No, not really. Maybe a little bit. But what I'm saying is you got to know the difference between the real world and this fictitious online existence. That's why I don't date online. I don't do online dating because it's not real. You understand? When I meet a woman, I want to be able to see her when I meet her. I don't want to build no rapport with a woman and I don't even know how the hell she looks. That's not reality. Because let me tell you what happens in those situations. You build a great rapport with a woman, man. She's got great energy. And then you see her and she's a 4. When she's well-dressed, she's a 4. And now you got a 4 on your hands that you really love her personality. And now she's looking like a 7 to you. So now your ass walking around with what you think is a 7, but it's really a 4 because you built a rapport with her before you got a chance to see her face. That makes no sense to me, man. See, Douglas, my brother, what's good, brother? Bless up. See, the bottom line is this, man. You got to work toward your joy and don't worry about what nobody else says. You got to work toward your joy and don't worry about what nobody else says. Because what they say don't matter. Because technically speaking, the only people who matter, you know them personally. You don't have to have online interactions with people that you really know. You can hit them up or fall through. You can't put no stock into nothing you see online, man, because online is entertainment. It's entertainment. That's why I don't buy into the whole show yourself thing, because I know me. If I come on camera every time I come on, bro, I'm gonna start trying to entertain y'all, man. I'm actually building a studio now anyway. I'm putting a studio together right now anyway. But so I'm gonna be doing some different things, man. You know, once I come back live, man, in February, everything gonna be different, man. The setup gonna be different. Y'all watch, man. Y'all watch me. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting it together right now. Y'all keep your eyes on me, man. But up to this point, man, for me, I'm still just about sharing information. That's all I'm about, man. I'm about sharing information. I'm about giving men something they can use in their lives. You understand? And even if I can't give you something you can use in your life, if you're that advanced as a man where I can't really give you something you can use in your life on a regular basis because you're that advanced, at least I can give you the glory of knowing that there's at least one other man who understands life the way you do, so you don't feel like you damn alone out here. Because I'm going to tell you, sometimes being alpha out here feels alone, man. Viewing the world from the perspective I view it from, man, it's been feeling alone for years, bro. That's why when I came here, I created the ALPHAS, because as a man, you got to create your own lane. You got two kinds of men. You got men who join in and men who join out. Now, what does join in and join out mean? You got a man who will come along and whatever you got going in, he don't give a damn. Long as it's successful, he want to join in. You got another man, he come along, you got something going on, he gonna watch you and study you, and he gonna join out and go do his own thing and become your competition. Those are the only two type of men in the world. Teammates and competitors. That's all. Somebody's either on your team or they're an opponent of yours. Even if a cat don't play ball, if he's sitting in the stands and he got on the jersey for the opposite team, he's still your opponent. It's only two type of men in the world. That's nothing else. This channel, man, we'll be monetizable on this channel, man, by Friday. We're getting pretty close, man. It may be, tomorrow's Thursday. So yeah, about that what you want to do, man. So for everybody who want a super chat, man, my bad. I mean, just go ahead, hit the PayPal donation, man. You know what I'm saying? It keep YouTube from getting 30% of it anyway if you hit the PayPal. I mean, if you're going to super chat, that's cool. I ain't telling you what don't super chat. I'm just saying, you know, since you can't super chat right now, man, hey, somebody put the PayPal link up there, man, so the brothers will get it. So at the same time, man, you got China White just put it up there, man. Now, another thing you got to keep in mind is this, man. You know, they say life is short. Well, it's even shorter now because the average person, man, spending damn near all their life on social media. Social media has replaced true social lives, man. You many cats can't even go out unless they meet a chick online to meet out somewhere. How you meet a chick online, then meet her out in the real world when you can just meet chicks out in the real world? Social media has changed the way men interact with the world because it's changed the way the world interact with men. That's why you got to stay in touch with the real world, man. You got to stay in touch with reality. You got to keep your hand on the pulse of life. If you reaching out and you can't feel no pulse, then you ain't got your hand on the pulse of real life. You got your hand on the pulse of this fictitious online world. Always feel the pulse of life, man. Always feel the pulse of life. If you don't feel the pulse of life, you ain't getting out into the world enough. That's what you got to do, man. You have to embrace the pulse of life, man. And that's the reality of it, man. And you got to think about this too, man. Everybody deep down inside only cares about their own success. People only start to care about other people's success when they attain their own. Every real man only cares about his own success. That's the reality of it. And if your success is attached to another man's success, then you got to roll with that. You got to roll with that train. You know what I'm saying? Shit, everybody in the crew ain't gonna be a millionaire. But if you bring some value to the equation and you able to ride the millionaire ride until you get your meal, then cool. I'm talking about if your success isn't based on that, you're not gonna do it. If you're a smart man, if you're a real man. But right now, out here grinding, man, everybody's about their own success. Anybody who got any sense is about their own success, man. Everybody, including you, only cares about their own success. It's human nature. This ain't something you got to think about. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. Don't wonder about it. This is human nature. Self-preservation is male human nature. It's masculine male human nature. It's alpha male human nature. It's pimp human nature. 25 rules pimps and alphas use that Simps and betas refuse. And these are rules of life, man. Rules of life. Number one was nothing lasts forever. Everything is temporary. Number two, men don't expect fairness in life. Men expect respect in life. Don't be fair with me, but you're going to give me my respect. Number three, no one can be trusted, in some cases, not even yourself. When you go say I do to a woman, you put your trust in her. When you pillow talk with a woman, you put your trust in her. When you give a woman access to all your business endeavors, man, and every plan you got, man, you put your trust in her. Not many men can be trusted. Not many men can be trusted. But how many women you think can be trusted? Honestly, how many women do you think can be trusted? Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 27. Verse 25. I applied mine heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things, and to know the wickedness of folly, even the foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands are as bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out their account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but one woman among all those have I not found. See, let me tell you something. If you want to be successful in this life, I'm talking about long-term success that can't nobody take from you, that you ain't got to worry about losing. You got to base that success on the principles and precepts of the Most High. Everything you need to know about life, about women, about money, about men, about grinding, about evil, about righteousness is right there in the pages of that book. Everything you need is in the pages of that book, man. So anytime somebody talking about something else, I don't want to hear nothing about it. If ain't no godliness in what you saying, and you got a bunch of brothers out here that can spew and spit the word and tell you and just give you some quotes about it and try to beat you across the head with it. Nah, brother, I'm going to give it to you in context. Contextually, I'm A+ with this, man. And these are the things that we have to understand. This is not a game we playing, man. It has never been a game. See, you got to avoid stuffed confidence. I made a video about that a while, months ago, shit, maybe a year ago. You got to avoid stuffed confidence and gather tools. What are tools? A woman is a tool. What's a helpmeet? A tool. A woman is a tool. A woman is a screwdriver. She's a wrench. She's a jackhammer. She's a sledgehammer. She's a hammer and nails. She's pliers. She's grip pliers. She's hedge trimmers. She's a riding lawnmower. A woman is a tool that God gave you to use. Never be a man who treats yourself like a tool that a woman can use. Any man who is a tool for a woman is living in sin. That is not what God intended. See, sin is not about what the 10 Commandments say. Sin is about doing the opposite of what God wants you to do. Sin is about living in the opposite of what God's plan is for the world. Sin is about contributing and perpetuating a woman's ability to live outside of the will of the Most High. So you got to use a woman as a tool. Let me tell you something. When the last time you needed a screwdriver and you took your screwdriver and you said, don't worry about the screwdriver, I'll do your job with my hands. If you ever had a screwdriver beside you and a butter knife, and you said, don't worry about the screwdriver, we're going to make the butter knife that's supposed to cut butter do your job. So you left the screwdriver right there beside you and tried to screw in the screw with the butter knife instead. You've never done that. You try to use a damn butter knife when you ain't got no screwdriver. But if you got the proper tool right there, you use the proper tool. You use the proper tool when you have the proper tool. So never listen to a man tell you that a woman shouldn't be your tool. You should be hers. That man is a fool. He might be a well-spoken fool. He might be a well-versed fool. He might be a respected fool by other fools, but he's a fool nonetheless. Just because a man can't live up to what God's expectation for him is, doesn't mean he has the right to try to lead other men to do that as well. See, we talk about dreams and goals and ambitions. Whichever woman in your life should be beneficial to that plan, by the way. But what's the greatest killer of men's dreams? Anybody? Let's put in the chat, man. What is the greatest killer of men's dreams? What is the greatest killer of men's dream? One word is one word. What's the greatest killer of men's dream? Goddamn, our banks. There is one thing that kills men's dreams, man. One thing. Moyo. And I'm going to show y'all how every other answer y'all put in here that's not that answer is based on that answer. It's based on that answer. Our banks, Moyo, Langston Gainey. Fear, homies. Fear. Fear. It's the greatest obstacle to men's success. 100% fear. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. That's the only way that's the only fear that's going to bring you knowledge. Fear no man but God himself. Fear. Now, Elijah Jones II said negativity. What's negativity? Negativity only sticks around your life when you have a fear of being alone, so you allow negative people to stay in your presence. You have a fear of having to wake up and face the world by yourself. You have a fear of having to really rely on the Most High to guide you through because you don't have these people around you. Negativity comes from people's energy around you, and you keep that energy around you because you fear losing people. You fear what people are going to say. You fear how people are going to feel. You fear that you're going to be alone. Mufasa for sure say sex. That ain't what he said. What he said sex. We're gonna try to keep this. I'm gonna really start trying to Hold it in the roll a little bit better, man. Now, I ain't going to be super clean, but I'm going to try to hold it in the roll. He say sex. What is sex? It's based on a fear. It's based on a fear of not getting a woman. It's based on a fear of not being able to capitalize on this woman. It's based on a fear where if you don't get it right now, there's going to come a time when you want some sex and you ain't going to be able to get it. It's based on a fear of having a woman say you're afraid of sex, or having a woman say you can't perform well, or having a woman to say she don't want to come back no more, or having your partner say, man, you don't get no sex. It comes from fear. And sometimes it comes from fear of what you might do for pleasure if you don't get all these women all the time. See, let me tell you something, and this doesn't apply to every man, but there are many men out here who overcompensate for their struggles with their sexuality by having sex with a lot of women all the time, as many as they can. You understand? And there are other men who don't have any desire, who know what their sexuality is, but they've had a situation where they were taken advantage of when they were younger. And now they're knocking down all these women all the time to convince themselves that they're not like that. So when I hear men brag about, I had 100 women, I had 200 women, I had 300 women, I had 30 women in 2 months. That's sad, brother. That's really sad. You could have had 30 of anything in 2 months. You could have had $30,000. I bet you ain't had $30,000 in 2 months. The majority of men don't. But you had 30 women in 2 months. And it's not even that you had the women, have as many women as you want. But when you throw that out there as a bragging piece, as a plaque to put on the wall, that means that you're such a simple man that you can be validated by sex. You know how lowly you had to feel of yourself, man, to need 30 women in 2 months to validate yourself? We ain't gonna stay on that one too long. Lust. Same thing as sex. Women. Same thing as sex. You know what I'm saying? The fear of not having a woman, the fear of losing a woman, the fear of not being able to capitalize on a woman's success. You know, you got to be a weirdo man, to look at a woman and say, I'm going to keep her. I don't like her, but I'm going to keep her because I don't want to miss out when she becomes successful. Think about that. Jealousy. LV says jealousy. The fear of someone else outperforming you. The fear of you not being able to measure up to the high standard, the high bar that someone else has set before you. Fear that someone who you are tight with is going to leave you behind now that they've attained some level of success, cause you to be jealous and envious. You got to keep in mind, man, that you have to keep in mind, man, that you have to build yourself. The only thing you should fear, brothers, in reality, the only thing you should fear is not trying. The only thing you should fear is waking up and 20 years have passed and you still thinking about doing what you should have started doing 20 years ago. Not starting, not trying, not beginning, not pushing the envelope, not taking a chance, not jumping off the porch, going in the yard to play with the big dogs. That's the only thing you should ever fear. You should fear waking up as a 60-year-old man that's in the same situation you were in when you were 30 years old. They still got the same thoughts about doing something that you're too old to do now. That should be your fear. That should be your only fear. It's not even about failure. Failure comes, failure goes. You have failures, you have successes. But to have a failure or success, you have to try to see a plan through to the end. Any man who doesn't have failures or successes, damn. Failures aren't as bad as not having failures or successes. Because if you don't have any failures, you don't have any successes. That's the bottom line. No man gets it right the first time, everything he does. You got to stop looking at women as someone who deserves your energy, your essence, your sexual attachment. You have to understand that just because a woman is attractive, she doesn't deserve that. Not every attractive woman deserves that. No man nowhere is coming into contact with 30 women in 2 months that he needs to be sexually active with. There aren't 30 women around you who deserve that. There aren't 30 women around you who are wholesome enough. There aren't 30 women around you who are feminine enough. There aren't 30 women around you who are honest enough. There aren't 30 women around you who are wholesome enough for you to be knocking down 30 women in 2 months. It's just not realistic, man. It's not realistic. So every man in here right now, man, if you got something you need to be doing and you ain't doing it, what the hell you waiting on? What are you waiting on? You got to do it. You got to get to it, man. You ain't got no time to be wasting around here, man. Let me tell you something, brothers. All this negative energy that cats try to bring, man, let me tell you something. Only miserable cats figure out ways to bring negative energy to folks all the time. I don't interact with cats who are in misery. I don't want none of that. And I'm not finna try to talk no grown man out of his misery. You don't have time to worry about miserable people. You don't have time to live in an environment where you got to deal with people who are always bringing the wrong type of energy to the party, man. I was watching some Good Time reruns today, man. I was watching an episode, man, where Walona, you remember this is where Janet Jackson first came on to the little girl Penny. And Walona, you know, her mama used to abuse her, and Walona came adopted her, legally adopted her. My bad. And so the woman came and get a swig of this water, man. So the woman came back and tried to get her daughter back, right? But she couldn't do it because, you know, hey, Walona was 10-10, man. Walona, she was on top of her game. You know what I'm saying? She was on top of her game. She was doing what she was supposed to do. So the woman met a dude, and then had the dude put his Mac on Walona, and then set her up to have a party with a whole bunch of pimps and prostitutes and drug dealers and junkies and all that was up in there, man. And he set up to have a party, man. Then the woman came in there, the police, and told her where everybody was at, blah, blah, blah. The woman tried to jam her up right there, right? So when all this went down, the woman's old, she said she had this new husband, she was rich, she was all that, and she wanted to get Penny back. She was changed. And the little girl had been recording the whole thing where she admitted to setting her up. The little girl wouldn't give her the recorder. She raised her hand up, getting ready to knock the shit out of the little girl again. Of course, Walona jumped in front of her, man, and defended the girl. But my point for all of this is this, man. People bring the wrong type of energy around you, but they seem like the right kind of people. Walona was falling for this dude. Like, hey, she was into him. You understand? She was into him. He was romancing the man all on her. He would touch and feel her with a man. He was on the ball just so he could set her up and bring all those people with the wrong energy around. She didn't have to know those people. Just those people energy damn near got her jammed up. Made her lose the little girl that she had just adopted. The little girl she loved so much. That's how life is. You can't judge people by how they are. You got to judge people by how they act. And the thing about a platform like this, you don't know how people act. You just know how they are when they come on. You have no idea how they act in real life. You have no idea some of the unscrupulous things that they're involved in their real lives. You have no idea that the man who seems like he has so much confidence with women has absolutely no confidence with women because all women do is reject him. You have no idea that the man who is professing that he is he is not dealing with women at all. He swarmed women off. That the man has finally come to grips with his sexuality. You just think he's a strong man who's resisted his temptation for women, not knowing that he's not tempted by women anymore. He's accepted the fact that he's not tempted by women. You can't tell that the man who's coming on here talking all this super, dating game stuff and all of this, man, you can't tell that he's still out here tricking off on women. Because all you can tell is how a man is as a content creator. You still don't know him. Hell, you don't know me. To be perfectly honest with you. But I try my damnedest to be transparent enough where you can. I try my damnedest to show you some things, man, that'll let you know, man, that I'm real about it. I really, really put a concentrated effort on that. Corey Robinson, no doubt, bro. Go ahead and do that, man. Appreciate it. The bottom line is this, man. When you involved in dead and unfulfilling relationships, they leave you what that exactly says. They leave you dead and unfulfilled. You're dying inside because you're dealing with people who work with the author of death, the author of confusion. You're dying as a man. Your manhood is dying. Your interest in living is dying. Your zest for life is dying every day because you're miserable. And misery loves company. So we go all the way back to that fear. When you're miserable, you fear being alone, because when you're alone with your thoughts, then you start thinking of suicidal, homicidal things. So you fear being alone. If you fear being alone, you'll accept whoever you can get to come around you. When you fear being broke, you'll do whatever it takes to get money, or no matter how unscrupulous it is. See, your joy is what matters. A job you hate isn't worth all the money in the world. I'm not knocking a job. I just dropped a video on the main channel where I say, man, hey, man, I ain't knocking nobody with a job, because somebody who has a job is the reason my Wi-Fi works. You know what I'm saying? I'm on here on this live stream right now because somebody did their job and make sure my Wi-Fi works. But a job you hate isn't worth all the money in the world. Just like a woman you hate isn't worth all the sex and companionship and all that other foolishness in the world, man. Some homies who bring you negative energy, man, and bring foul things to your life, man, ain't worth all the camaraderie and confidence in somebody having your back in the world, bro. See, one thing you got to understand is this. As a man, brother, if you hold grudges, you got to work on that. Holding grudges is such a feminine display of emotion. Holding grudges simply means that you have resigned yourself to the fact that you're going to have this type of emotional attachment, this type of emotional energy charge about this scenario for a long time. You have simply bought into the fact of being an emotional wreck about this particular situation with this particular person. That's feminine, bro. That is feminine. Ain't nobody can tell you anything different. That's feminine, bro. Because if you ain't going to do nothing about it, you got to let it go. And if you do something about it, you ain't going to have no grudge no more. But if you are a willing grudge holder, man, you stay in your feminine energy. See, this is the thing. If you do something and I don't deal with you no more, that ain't holding no grudge. I just don't deal with people who do things that you do. You ain't on my level. Or I ain't on yours. However you want to say it. I ain't on your level. Cool. You want that? You want to feel that way about it? Fine. I ain't on your level. But it doesn't mean I have a grudge. A grudge is when I'm constantly lashing out, constantly talking about, constantly trying to tear down one individual about one situation or one organization, about one interaction. Real men don't hold grudges. We take care of the situation to rectify it, or we cut the person off. That's what we do. It's simple. You ain't got to do a whole lot. Another thing, man, is you got a lot of cats that'll be fake for popularity. Man, real men don't be fake for popularity. I'm not gonna be fake for popularity. Pimps and alphas are not gonna be fake for popularity. They feel so confident and cocky in themselves that you're gonna have to accept me for who I am, or be gone. That's the reality of life, bro. I'm keeping it 100. I'm keeping a buck with y'all right now, bro. That's all I can do, man. So you got a lot of cats, man, that's acting like they are what they ain't, or acting like they're not what they are, so they can get a few views, man. And you know this, and you know, man, for real, when it goes down like that, man, it don't ever pop off like you think it will. It just doesn't, man. And what this does, man, it leads you to worrying about things that don't matter. Like I've never seen I've never experienced time in my life where so many men worrying about what other men do. So many men were really worried about things that really don't matter. They really don't matter. I had a cat come to a comment today from the live stream this morning, man, and say, you know, man, you just spent an hour ranting on and on about what men do when you just said you don't care what men do and blah, blah, blah. Now, let me tell you something. See, this comes from a cat taking your words to twist them up. I didn't say that I don't care what men, I don't care what men do. I said I don't care what men do as long as it doesn't affect me in a negative manner. When you do something that affects me in a negative manner, all bets are off. There's a certain type of interaction that you and I need to have. And we need to do that expeditiously. So, you know, and let me tell you something, man. Be your own boss, man. Any young brothers listening, man, any young brothers gonna listen on the playback, man, be your own boss, man. Shit, I gotta plug my computer up, man. Y'all give me a minute. Oh, there we go. I ain't even got my joint plugged up, but we finna get ugly in here for a minute. The boy finna shut down on me. You got to be your own boss. And I'm not just talking about with your job. I'm talking about be your own boss. See, let me tell you what be your own boss means. And that this really should be a dedicated video. But you got to be your own boss. That don't mean go work for yourself. That means make sure you do your job. Be your own boss in life. Be the boss that makes sure you, the employee, get your job done. Be the boss that makes sure you, the employee, is working out. Make sure you, the employee, is eating the right foods. Make sure you, the employee, is getting the right amount of rest. Make sure you, the employee, is keeping the negative people from around you. Making sure you, the employee, only has women around you who are doing everything in their power to benefit your process. Make sure you, the employee, is not being used by family and friends because you're doing a little bit better. Make sure you, the employee, is taking time to enjoy yourself, taking time to feed your mind, taking time to feed your spirit. Make sure you're doing those things. You got to be the boss of yourself by enforcing the rules of employment on yourself. Control yourself. Punish yourself for not getting the job done. Dock your pay for not getting the job done. And that's the reality of it, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. A lot of these chicks out here, man, to be honest with you, bro, all you can do is deal with them on a temporary basis, man, and go have sex with them and chill with them a little bit, and then go on about your business, man. The majority of women out here, man, ain't wired for no everyday interaction with a man. Now, with a real man, where they can't just do whatever the hell they want to do whenever they want to do it. So, man, it's one of those things, man, where we out here existing in a world where a lot of men refuse to use the rules that make your life golden. There's nothing I said on this list that doesn't make a man's life golden. Nothing. Stop eating like shit. See what I'm saying? Stop eating like shit. Eating everything you see, eating as much of it as you want, whole bunch of sugar, whole bunch of artificial sweeteners, whole bunch of saturated fat, whole little bit of water, you know what I'm saying? Whole bunch of soft drinks, whole bunch of liquor. Man, listen, you can't even be as efficient and effective as you want to be with your woman or your women if you ain't in shape. You can't, man. You don't reap the benefits of being in shape, bro. There are benefits to being in shape, especially when it comes to dealing with these women. There are benefits to being in shape. Great benefits. We just got to keep in mind, man, that we got to do it. It's on us to do it. So, now I will tell you this. Number 4 was women are more loyal than your friends. A woman will be more loyal than your friends. I used this example. I used the example before on another video. How many of your friends will hold you down for a bid? You get to realize that most of these cats are your so-called friends. There are some friends that'll hold you down, but the majority of them won't. Man, let me tell you something. Almost every brother I know who's been to prison, man, got held down by one while he was in there. You know what I'm saying? And when he touched down, man, she was waiting on him to touch down. He got back on feet real quick. Your homies, shit, man. Your homies, man. I mean, unless you got your A1, your ace boom coon utmost partner in crime, then that's something totally different. When a man view you like a brother, that's something totally different. But 9 times out of 10, man, how many of your partners gonna give up on their own goals and ambitions, man, to help you build your business? That's loyalty right there, man. That's loyalty. And that's the reality of it. You got to ask yourself this, man. How many of your partners you think that you can lie to and cause them emotional turmoil, man, 2 or 3 times, and they still be your partner, still be tighter than ever, still be hoping you become a better friend? That ain't gonna happen. But a woman to stay with a man in those situations. Should some women to ride it out till he chill back into their married life, man. They'll just ride it out with him. So you got to keep in mind, man, and these are some of the realities of life that we must discuss. You know what I'm saying? We got to discuss these things because in the real world, of course, in whatever environment you're in, these stats are skewed a little bit. But in the real world, then these things are valid. Well, when you look at and we look on YouTube, man, nobody on YouTube has a right to say anything about this contrary to this, because a whole bunch of backbiting and backstabbing and catfighting and all that behind the scenes, man. Number 5, women will treat you how you treat you. Self-explanatory. Number 6, sacrificing your health is a sucker move. It is, brother. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. If you ain't got a six-pack, you fat. Only reason you ain't got a six-pack because too much fat on your belly. You could be, listen, man, your arms can be lean, but you still ain't fit. You ain't fit until you can see your abs. You ain't got to be chiseled, shredded to the bone. But if you until you can see your abs, you're not in shape. Number 7, be who you are and never give a damn about what folks think or say. Number 8 was avoid stuff, confidence, and gather tools like women. Women are tools. Number 9, everything comes to pass. Everything comes to pass, man. Life itself comes to pass. It doesn't matter what you're dealing with in this life, it's all gonna shoot right by you. Listen, man. Let me tell you something. There's a song, man. I think it's is it BB and CC Wines? I don't know. Not. I think it's the Wines, man. It's called "It'll Be All Over in the Morning." Y'all check it out, man. If I was on Streamlabs, I'd play it for y'all, man. But these are things, man. It'll be all over in the morning, man. When you wake up tomorrow, it's a new day. The wonderful thing about the cycle of days, everything that happens today will be old tomorrow. You got to deal with tomorrow. That's the wonderful thing about life, man. You ain't got to be stuck in no rut. You ain't got to be stuck in the same position. You ain't got to be stuck around the same people. You ain't got to be stuck in the same environment. You ain't got to be stuck in the same city. You ain't got to be stuck in, man, you ain't got to be stuck nowhere. Number 8, avoid stuff, confidence, gather tools. Number 9, everything comes to pass. Number 10, work towards your joy and nothing else. Number 11, no other moment matters except right now. No moment matters except right now. An hour ago is gone. An hour from now ain't here yet. So we got to keep these things in mind, brothers. No other moment matters except right now. Number 12, everyone, including you, only cares about their own success. It's human nature. Number 13, fear is the greatest killer of man's dreams. Number 15, a job you hate isn't worth all the money in the world. Hell, I think I skipped 14. Life is not long, especially when social media and the trick box have you hooked. Real talk. Number 16, stay out of those dead end, unfulfilling relationships. If you can't get through to a woman, how long are you going to try to? Number 22, be your own boss. The U.S. gets the fewest days off for vacation and holidays combined. Number 23, know how to separate fantasy from real world reality. And you got to keep that in mind, man. Know how to separate the fantasy world from reality, but how to reap the benefits of both. And that's real talk, brothers. So this one here, man, hey, I appreciate y'all coming through, man. I want to keep this one kind of clean because I want to leave it up on the channel, man, and just let's see how much smoke we can get with this one. I want to go ahead and cut it off before it gets too long. People tend to shy away from them when they get past about a minute and 15 seconds. And so we'll go ahead and let this thing, man. And then I'm gonna chop off the front without the introductions and all that anyway. So that's gonna probably put it pretty close to a minute. So anyway, fellas, I appreciate everybody coming through. Young Manhood Channel, YMC, D Flemings, Channel White, man. I appreciate y'all doing the thing on the chat, man. All the Patreon supporters, man. I appreciate it, man. All the new subscribers, especially to this channel, man. You know, honestly, man, I think I got 381 subscribers to this channel today. So I appreciate that, man. That's top notch. And y'all continue to spread the word, man, that this is where we'll be doing this thing at now, man. And I'm going to try to have the Streamlabs ready, man, so we can have some music behind us or something. And then I come on here tomorrow, man. So anyway, fellas, I appreciate everybody coming through. It's been real in the field. Peace. We out. We'll be back in this joint again tomorrow, man. Oh, by the way, I just put a video up on the main channel, man. Y'all go check that out. And that's how we'll do it, man. So we gonna head on out, man. Peace.
It's the book of Alpha running me, nigga. Read it or weep.